is up, people? How you doing? What up, sis? How you doing, Trish?
Jay, I'm great. How are you doing, hon?
I am good. I am good. Actually, no, I can't even say I'm good. I'm a little tired. I've been doing that 75 hard challenge, and whoo, I'm tired. Working out twice a day, I'm just tired.
You're killing it, though. You're killing it.
Thank you, thank you. I'm on day 31, I believe, and I'm trying.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you because I know people who are doing it and they have to keep starting over and over, and they haven't passed like 8 weeks. So you're doing good, brother.
Oh, thank you, sis. You know, the trick is I got too many people watching me. I can't fail. That's the trick. That's the trick. Yeah. Oh, man. So, like every show, we do our best to scour the earth to find everyone the best guests, the best conversations, the best topics. And today is no different. We have not one, but two guests waiting backstage for us to get into this heavy, or I shouldn't say heavy. I don't think it's a heavy conversation. It's fun.
Fun.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. So let me go ahead and read off some of their credentials. So Miyosha Streets has a passion for building self-confidence and boosting self-esteem in children. She created ABC My Hair and Me to counteract the old beauty standards as well as increase diversity and inclusion in children's literature. In addition to her debut book, Miyosha founded My Hair and Me Kids, a growing collection of products for kids that follows the same mission. And now our other guest is a librarian. I can't even say the word. Librarian. I don't know. And a YouTuber. I know, right? And a YouTuber that is passionate about reading, singing, and or rapping children's stories on YouTube and his IG page. All in the hopes to get kids to read. But not only read, but see themselves represented in the stories he shares. So let me go ahead and bring on Miyosha Streets and Billy. What is up, dude? Three Kings Vision. Billy Allen.
What's going on?
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? How you feeling?
I'm blessed, man. Look, man, it's an honor to be on your platform. Just got done doing a story time. So we cooking.
I like that. We cooking. I like that. Nice.
What's the meaning behind Three Kings Vision?
So me and my homies, two of my best friends, a whole crew, we call each other Three Kings. So when I was initially trying to come up with a name for the brand, and I was like, I'm trying to be true and loyal because Three Kings mean loyalty, a friendship and loyalty. So I'm like, okay, what can I come up with being loyal to giving back to our future kings and queens? And I was like, you know what, Three Kings, visions, I'm like, all right, we'll see.
I really love that. No.
So it just stuck. So here we are.
That's so good.
Okay.
I was looking at your Instagram, and I just have to jump right into it. So I have three kids, a girl and two boys, and I must say that my daughter's 22 now. When she was younger, I had to scour so much to find books with characters that looked like her, and even if they looked like her the hair was not like hers, right? Mm-hmm. And I just love that, I don't have to dig as much now. I mean, I'll have to do now. I can give, if I have grandkids, I'm pretty sure I'll have sometime in the next few years, but it's not as hard now because of women like, and there's even little kids that I know that are 13, 14 years old that are publishing their own books because they want to see more of them,
Yes, even back to just like my kids, my daughter, she's 7. She just turned 7. And when she was little, you still had to go in and search even then. So the abundance of, Black and brown kids is just pretty recent. Yeah, but the only thing is, in the educational component, we're still few and far in between. So when you get to, books on ABCs, the alphabets and numbers and colors and, things to educate the kids, there's still not that representation there, which is why, the component that I'm interested in and getting the representation in the educational part of it.
Billy is just like, yes, I'm a librarian, yeah.
I mean, preaching to the choir. Representation is everything.
Yeah.
you see it in the other entertainment field, sports and other stuff. They talk about us being represented, but us being represented in the literacy realm, it has to happen. And I think the dope thing that's been going on since COVID, unfortunately, I mean, I know COVID happened, but you're seeing the influx of Black children's authors coming to the forefront. And Miyosha, as you know, it seems like everybody's following each other now. It's like a community that's growing, and that's what's needed because the little ones got to see us. I mean, you know, I could read you a book. I mean, no offense to anyone that's, you know, Caucasian or not Black, but the message ain't going to hit hard if you don't see a little girl that looks like Miyosha.
Exactly.
Or a little boy that looks like Jay. It ain't going to hit the same. So, no, you know, you're 100% correct.
And I can also take it to the next level. I know Jay, I'm talking a lot. You know I don't talk a lot. But, you know, Billy, yourself as a librarian, not just as a Black person, but as a Black man. I cannot recall seeing a person of color in a library.
He is a unicorn, man, for real.
Okay.
So it's funny. Black male librarians, we barely make up 1% of the field.
I believe it. You might be that 1%.
I mean, on IG, my other brother, Mr. John, but like it may seem like it's a lot. It's not a lot.
It's not.
And I'm in the circle. All my homeboys, it's 5 of us that are all different librarians. We all went to undergrad, grad school together. It's almost like the story of the doctors that made the patent. The same thing. But I had my first librarian job. This old white man. I'm in orientation. He just staring at me. And I kind of knew, I felt it. And he said, "Do you know how rare you are?" And I know he meant, right? And he said, "You are a unicorn." I live in Miami now. I work for Broward County. But when I was in Jacksonville, I was the only Black male librarian in the city of Jacksonville. Like, we stick out. And, I mean, I work it to my advantage, you know, so, because, I mean, we win these communities, these diverse communities where they need to see us. That old white lady or the 4, like, white ladies that I manage, your message ain't going to hit the same when I'm engaging with them, trying to get them to utilize resources, trying to get them to read a book. You know, it's not the same. So, you know, I would never stop preaching representation. And just me being a librarian, you being an author, you know, I mean, that it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get out of this mode of thinking the young kings and queens can be just an athlete or a rapper.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I'm curious because we always talk about representation, and I know, Billy, you're talking about how, like, a lot of times we'll see sports stars and they'll say that's our representation. But why is it so important for us to have representation? I'll say everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Why is that so important?
Because if the kids don't see themselves represented in different avenues, they don't know it's a possibility. So if I only see athletes or people in entertainment that look like me, that's what I think I can accomplish. I see someone that looks like me, so that's what I go after. But when you see someone doing things in all avenues, then you know the possibilities are endless. You know, it creates a overflow of possibilities and for kids that we didn't really see. I know me when I was younger.
Oh, I know I didn't see it, for real.
And then, you know, perception is reality. The more often you see it, you know what I'm saying, the more prevalent it's going to be. I mean, growing up, I had a Black teacher or two. I maybe had about 3 or 4 Black teachers, but I didn't relate to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They weren't talking my language. They were trying to stick to the code.
Right.
Versus being authentic. You know, people forget when we're adults now, you forget that teenagers, little kids, they have a real sense of authenticity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They can read you better than adults.
Yeah.
So when you're being real and true, when they see a children's author, let's see some of this, I mean, doing something else outside of the norm. Let's try to change the narrative. And I think it's slowly happening.
Yeah. And even for people that aren't, you know, melanated, they still need to see us represent in different ways too. So they don't think we're only good for one particular thing.
And that's why we talk about representation, especially on TV and movies and media. You know, we shouldn't just see a black man as a drug dealer. We shouldn't just see a black man as it's representation, and that's what. And even for I have a 17-year-old son. He would come to me. Even my younger son, who's 11. You know, they would say, "Oh, our teacher just hates their job," and I'm like, "Well, you know, they read that energy of these teachers. Oh, mom, they just read from the book. They're bored with their job, and these are what they're seeing this. So how are you motivating my child to be any better? How are you motivating them to be a better human being, or even be a better representation in their community? You know, and that's your job as a teacher, as a role model, and you're not even that you're able to accomplish, right?
Well, you gotta keep in mind, everybody's exposed because everybody got this. That says when we talk about me like being a librarian, my job is to help people get information. Everyone has the most access to information that we ever had, and it's not going away. So that little kid that's 7 years old that's on that tablet can click on a video and see somebody, you know what I'm saying, in some realm of performing their profession. So if they don't see you, well, let's say it's a Caucasian kid, they need to see that because they're gonna have their best friend may be black.
Yeah.
Or my best friend may be Hispanic, you know what I'm saying, or Asian, you know what I'm saying, or any other ethnicity. So this is why we have to put the images out there. You have to put it out there because I'm telling you, we got short-term memory.
Yeah.
I could preach this right now, and I stopped doing Three King Vision 3 months from now, it don't even matter.
You know, when Jay told me about both of y'all and I went onto your social media, the first thing that came to my mind is we all need to do a tour, like together, like, you know, the librarian and the book, like, because I cannot imagine, like, even for my own kids, this is what I would want for them to see. This is what I would want for them to be exposed, not to just go on YouTube or Instagram to see you guys, but for y'all to be at their schools, talking to them, for them to ask y'all questions, because this is what we need.
So y'all, I'm gonna call it. Y'all remember like the book fairs that used to go around schools? I'm not sure if they go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we need, instead of the book fair, we need to have the black fair, and it just goes around to every school.
You know what? There actually is one.
It's really?
The Black Child Book Tour.
I did not know that.
It's gonna be in Charlotte, July 31st, and I'm actually taking part. This will be my first vendor event. Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Yo, you heard it here first, people.
Right, because I haven't announced it anywhere.
I'm from
Black Phoenix exclusive.
That's nice. No, I'm just saying, like, even all the librarians or I just feel as though, like, especially in Canada, we need something like this. We need people who are to motivate, because miraculously there is a lot of Black and Brown people in Canada. People don't think that, but we are. It's a melting pot of so many different cultures. Yet, you know, the representation is not there the way it should be, right?
Oh, I can't even front, Trish. When I first met you, I really thought you were the unicorn in Canada. I really did. I can't even lie.
Oh my God, you're so not funny, Jay.
That's why you keep me around. That's why.
So what part of Canada y'all from?
I'm in Toronto.
I'm in the States. She's in Canada, but yeah, I'm in the States.
Yeah.
I always have to go visit Toronto, man.
We're opening up.
Road trip.
We're opening up on Friday.
Oh man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yo, so we keep hitting home that representation matters, right? But why specifically is it important to get kids and even adults, dare I say, to read? Why is that important as well?
Okay.
He about to break it down, y'all.
I'm a real observant person, so, you know, I'm really engaging. I engage with parents who come into the library, and a parent, listen to this. This was a middle school student that, you know, I engage with all the time to come to my library. He's reading, right? And he told his mom, he said, "Mom, why don't you go check out a book? I don't never see you check out a book and read." I looked at them and was like, you got to practice what you preach. How you going to tell them to read if you're not reading?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Y'all should both be sitting down at least 30 minutes a day to read together, because, like I say, even just like with story time, I tell parents, it's just not about the kid. It's all about you and the parent developing that love of reading together, because reading don't never stop.
Yeah. It's the bonding too, especially at how I work with kids at the younger age. It's the bonding experience. Yeah. Mostly creating that bond and setting that memory will make them, as they get older, want to read because they associate it with that love that they had from the connection that they got with their parents while they were reading. And that's what builds a love in reading.
I feel as though it's such a lost art, reading, because it's not ingrained as much in school anymore. To me, that's what I find. And from my daughter, who is 22, to my son, who's 11, I remember they had, reading competitions, how many books they can read in a month with my daughter. Now it's like, I don't even see my son getting anything to read or any books or anything like that, right? So
well, I think one of the reasons is because it's a chore versus it being something you want to do. Yeah. And I recall my childhood. I'm a basketball junkie. I'm a gamer. So my mom, and I'm a diehard hip hop fan. My mom was getting me the Source, the Vibe magazines, the Jet magazines, the Slam basketball, video game magazines. So I can have my own vested interest in reading. Then when it came to reading something in school, it wasn't that bad because I like to read. I think it's not. They say, I talk to the teens all the time. They want to read stuff they can relate to. Yeah. Guys like Jason Reynolds, that are writing books that like the crossover and stuff like that. That people painting stories that they want to see. Like I said, we got this. What if they? Why would they read a book if they can get the same story visually?
Yeah.
So actually, Billy, you bring up a good point that I often struggle with as a parent. Is that my daughter, she loves to read, right? I can throw her any book. I guarantee she'll have it read by either the end of the night or the next day. Like, she just loves to read. My son, however, not so much. So with him, I always try to figure out, okay, do I give him what's going to feed his mind and his soul? Or do I give him what he wants to read? You know what I'm saying? Because if he's left to his own devices, he's picking up every single comic book that has nothing but pictures and maybe like one or two words. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that goes to challenging. How old is your son?
My son is, he's 11. I had to think about it for a second. He's 11.
So, that's that balance where, you talk about feeding his soul. I think one of the suggestions I always say is, I looked up, it's this website called Goodreads. And you want to see content that the other kids are reading. And not with the recommended teacher readings, other books that they're reading outside of the recommended educational range. Because you got to tap into it. And sometimes, man, it can happen by the end of the summer, Jay. They're like, hey, I just found this series. All it takes is that one series or that one book to trigger that thing off where they got that thirst to read some more. So it can happen tonight. You just don't know.
I've seen that with my son too. I've seen that with my son, but I will take him to. We have I think you guys have Barnes and Nobles. We have chapters in Debo here, and I'll take him and I'll say, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what to read, but get something that's interesting to you. And this was a couple of years ago, and then he started off in a series, and I'm like, okay, when you finish it, then I'll buy you the other one. So that I didn't want to buy like 3 of the series at the same time, right? But something that I was thinking about when we were talking about kids reading, when I was growing up, and even with my own kids, I made this mistake. A lot of people use reading as a punishment. They would say, right? And that is
whatever. I had to read and write the dictionary. I had to read it and then write words from the dictionary. That was my punishment. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Trish. Go ahead.
Which is I think stems from why a lot of kids, I know for a fact that happened to me, looked as reading as a punishment. I didn't want to read because I'm like, okay, well, it's only if I did something wrong, I had to go and read. Whereas now I learned that younger, before my daughter got older, by digging deeper into myself with doing things differently. But I still hear and see that today.
Yes.
You see that?
Oh yeah, yes. If you don't do such as a me, go in there and read, or you wouldn't be in a teaching school today. Go in your room and read.
Go read a book.
Yeah. Which is so unfortunate, I guess, and that stems from if the parent doesn't have a love for reading, then that's what we think of it as, and that's what we use it as, a punishment too. But Jack, I was gonna say, so you were talking about, trying to find reading material for your son. My son's 11 too. Okay. And here's the balance. Here's what I found that works. He loves Big Nate and Dog Man books.
Yeah.
Yo, see, funny stuff. My son used to love those books. He's read them all up until maybe about a year and a half ago. He just doesn't like them anymore. I don't know why, but he just like he won't. He's just, I don't know.
David Pilkey, them books fly off my shelf left and right. I have to constantly order multiple copies of those.
It won't. That's what he likes. To me, I'm like, it's just a comic book. It's not a book. But this is what we've started doing. I'll buy the book for him because he doesn't want to just go to the library and get it. He wants his own. He wants to see the collection in his own library.
Good. I like that. Good.
And so I'll get it for him. But you have to read something else. And what I do is we read them together. So he's read The Acclimist twice. My 11-year-old has read and he he chose to read it. And we'll have and what he enjoys is that we have open discussions about it.
So let me say, like you say you read it together. Is that like you reading to him, or is it like you guys? He'll read it and then you come back and take it.
Yep. Yeah. So I've even done this with oh gosh, I Hate Middle School. The series, the middle school, the worst days of my life, or something like that.
I think I know middle
school ever.
And so we alternate. So it's like, okay, because I love The Acclimist, and so I introduced it to him. I really didn't think he was gonna read it. I just wanted to plant that seed.
Right. Yeah.
Well, he caught a hold to it and loved it, and I guess, and I think it's mostly because we had an open conversation about it. So he would read, and then he would let me know what he read, and at night I would read the section that he read, and then we would talk about it the next day. And we did the same thing with the middle school, The Worst Days of My Life. Yeah. And he would remind me, like, okay, Ma, I read this many chapters. You got to catch up. And if I missed the night, then he would still reading. Ma, you got to catch up. Like, have you read your part yet? Because I can't have the conversation with him if I don't read my part.
Yeah, see, me and my daughter used to do something like that. Like, she would read the whole book, and then I would go read the whole book, and then we talk about it later. Mm-hmm. But I like what you're talking about, like doing it kind of in chapters and stuff like that. So yeah, that's dope. I'm
gonna tell y'all what I did a month and a half ago, because my library. Well, I'm about to leave this current library Monday, but the current library has a partnership with middle school with the age range of your son. So I'm real creative when I try to get these kids engaged. So what I did was I grabbed about 15 books and I made it like a speed date, but it was a speed book taste. So I got the dollar store candles. I printed out a menu of all the books, right? So these 6th to 8th graders were going around, and all they had to do was read the back of the book and read the first page. And within 5 minutes, they rotate. And then after each 5 tables, they'll go to the book they like the most. It worked. It was a hit. I'm definitely doing it.
Love that.
Oh, dude.
That was a hit. That was a hit.
That's why I said we need to clone you.
What happened?
That. Huh? I said that's why I said we need to clone you. I
Look,
I grew up in a family of teachers, and my uncles, they were very innovative in the way that they would teach. They would make props to teach and stuff like that. And that's how I grew up, right? But nowadays, I don't see teachers taking that extra step or even enjoying teaching that way to have children engage. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, each child in that classroom, they learn differently. But if you bring props and stuff, because they know that's how they are, they are very visual. Kids are very visual, right? That they would be intrigued, they would be interested to listen and to learn. And even from my daughter, like I don't think I've had any of their teachers, because I'm very involved with their teachers, take that extra to actually use their creative imagination to help them. And that's what a teacher is supposed to, because I remember how engaged I was as a youth in class with the teachers that I had, because they made everything fun. They made, and this is back in the Caribbean, where they would make things out of anything. Like, it was just crazy, right? And I don't see that a lot. So that's why I keep saying to you, Billy, that, you're a gem, because I haven't seen that. My daughter is 22. I haven't seen that. So I hope that, you do get a chance to pour and go around, because we need to have people like you in our community and around for our kids to see, to motivate them to know okay, this is possible. And there's so many kids, like my younger son, your personality reminds me of him, and he would never even think about being a librarian. I think that he could
never in a million years. I think I'd be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told Billy before, like, I'm manifesting this TV show. Like, it's happening.
Oh, yo, I could so see that. Yo, a TV show about a black librarian? Dude.
It's happening.
Dude, that is
so happening.
Well, you know, I tell, and me and my homeboys talk about this all the time. Going back to the representation thing, I really think, besides what I've seen a lot of other brothers, you know, in the education realm blowing up, it's so much negativity going on with the black man that they got to have some type of form of positivity going on.
Yeah. Of course.
Change the narrative.
Yes.
You got to change the narrative because it's, I mean, we know what's going on, you know, in society, but you know, that's not everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, I have a unique perspective because I deal with these teachers and talk to them. It's just like a job with anybody else. Either you love it, or you got a passion, or you're there to get a check. And a lot of these educators, from talking to them, I see some ones that just amazing because they got it in. They got that it factor. But there's some, I mean, a lot of them are like social workers because they got to deal with the parents. You know, I think what's happened during this COVID period, I know I'm kind of like sidetracking, but what happened during this COVID period, a lot of parents have found out that they're not really engaged with their kids like they thought they would.
Right.
So, like, I mean, because you take for granted the kid being gone for 10 hours a day. Because think about it. You allow you to work. They have breakfast there, have lunch. They come home. You know, it's 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. You know, you spend a couple of hours with them, eat, it's on to the next day. Yeah. So the teacher, you know, it's so funny because I have so many stories in the library. These teachers, these parents, and they complain, but then I see the adult teacher, but then they're addressing all the kids, keeping them engaged. I've had kids that will say they want to skip another teacher's class to stay in the other teacher's class. And then the teacher, you know, saying the parent get mad at the other teacher, but it's like, look, she ain't got the same type of passion, you know. And then the extraordinary teacher be like, come on, mom, come on, dad. Like, you know, I'm letting you know that this your student is struggling. I giving her tools and all this stuff. She said you ain't work with her, or you knew about it. Now when it's time for report cards, you trying to cut it out.
Where the extra credit at? Yo, you got something for me, teach? Yo, what's up?
No, but it's true to what you're saying because, as I said, you know, I'm very engaged with my children's teachers, and I would say earlier on, I would say to my daughter, you know, don't tell me about what your teacher is doing. You know what? If you want to learn, you will learn, right? Like, you don't blame it on your teacher. And it's when I started going to one-on-one meetings or meetings with the teachers, and I would listen to them, or I would hear certain words that they would use to describe or talk about my kid. You know, I started just honing in on some of the things that my own child would say to me. And I'm like, okay, I think I know now, right? I think I understand. So then I started changing the conversation that I would have with my kid, you know, okay, what is the issue? Is it how they're speaking with you? Because my daughter went to a regional arts program, which is predominantly white. So a lot of the things that she would want to express as a young Black girl, she felt like she was being suppressed. So I had to address that. And, you know, even when I had to address it with the teachers, they were like taken back, like, you know, why are you questioning what we're trying to teach? But I'm like, if you're in an art school, you're a liberal arts school, you're teaching to think outside the box. You think they're not supposed to just think about one thing, right? She's very artistic. So it kind of opened my eyes up as a parent as to start listening to the words and start listening to how my children talk about their teachers. It's not that they don't like them, it's that they're not teaching to help them. They're not teaching to educate them. And I think that's a mistake or an issue that a lot of us parents don't realize until it's too late.
Yeah. And our kids will tell us if we listen to them, like, you know, every now and then they're trying to just get out of something. But if you listen to them daily, you can tell the difference. You know, ask them. Like sometimes they don't really want to talk. Like my daughter, I know she'll How was school? It was fine. What did I do? We did math. We went outside. We ate. And it's like, what? But then, those conversations, you can't say that to me every day. You got to give me a little more every day. Yeah. But yeah, you can tell. You can tell if the teacher is just completely missing the mark or the child just is bored or whatever.
They are. Yeah.
One thing I have noticed though is I let the teachers know from the jump. I am very involved.
Yeah.
I need communication. Don't wait until the last minute to try to contact me. I want to hear from you. Good, bad. Don't wait. Like I want to hear what's going on consistently all the time.
Yeah.
And with my sister being in education, one thing that she said is the parents that are directly involved, the teacher is engaged with that student.
More, yeah.
The parents that aren't involved, the teacher ignores those students.
Because they know. I think my daughter used to say, Mom, because as soon as they see you and hear you, they know they got to be on top with me.
Exactly. But it's unfortunate because, you have some kids that parents can't be as hands-on as others.
Yeah.
I just don't know that they should be.
Right.
And I think it's that. I think that it's that right there that they don't know that they should be because again, it's that generational, what they learn from their own parents, right?
Right.
And as a mom who always decided that I want to do better, I want to be better, I tried to look at what I didn't like growing up or what I thought was not conducive to my learning or even to my life experience and try to, have those conversations with my children because I remember growing up, no one really talked to me. We never had conversations. I never had conversations with my aunts and uncles about school or work, or even life itself, right? It's like, do as I say or, not as I do kind of.
Right.
Was growing up, right? So I really wanted to change that narrative. And I'm glad that I did because the conversations that I have with my children, it's so open. And I know that if anything were to go wrong, that they would come and communicate with me. And that's what you want, right? So it's very important that we have these conversations. And something I was going to say before I forget is that, and I just forgot. Oh, we were talking about representation, but I strongly believe that us as Black people, brown people, we need to support each other more than that, right? And that is where I think the kryptonite is that, okay, so this is my opinion. I feel as though we try to show off on each other too much. We try to up one another too much. And we don't try to help each other or stick with each other or motivate each other enough. And this is one of the reasons why Jay and I have this platform is because this is what we're trying to show that we need to have this in a community because you see the Chinese, you see the Italians, you see the Indians, you see how they work together as a community, even if 15 of them have to live in one house to help each other buy a house or build a business or whatever, they do it, but we don't want to do that.
Right. Oh my goodness. So this is a conversation I have a lot with my husband. We are one of the only groups that don't support each other 100% all the time. And
they don't want to have this conversation either.
We have it's that in-house, out-house mentality we're dealing with, and there's that competition that's there that I think we still deal with. And it's like, still trying to play the in-house and be master friend. So I'm going to tell on you so you can be in our house. You know what I mean? And it's like we need to break from that mentality and fully support each other 100%. That's the only way we're going to grow. Well, it's not a competition. It's not a competition.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's all about what we're talking about is the representation because growing up, we didn't get to see each other on screen, in books, whatever the medium is, right? So what we saw was like white people or other ethnic groups achieving. So we wanted to be like that. We want that, right? So anything, and even like how we were portrayed, black man's robbing the bank, black man does this, black woman does that. And it was always these negative stereotypes. So when we came across something, one of my favorite movies is Romeo Must Die, right? And there's a scene in that movie where one of the bad guys, he's talking to another guy and he's like, look at you, always wanted to be like a crab in the barrel, right? And that's exactly what happens. Instead of us trying to work together and lift each other up, we keep pulling each other, and for different reasons. Sometimes it's just because you don't know how, and you see somebody else is achieving, so you reach at their coattails and you try to pull them back because you're trying to get up. It's all these different things, but yeah.
It's so many levels to this conversation.
So
because me and my homies talk about this all the time, and me trying to push my brand, Miyosha, Jay, Trish. I'm pretty sure y'all know this. When you putting yourself out there, I tell people all the time, I commend anyone that's putting yourself out there because it takes a certain amount of confidence.
Yeah.
I've had people, when I'm telling them I'm going to do, I said, you know what, man? I said, I'm going to do a kids show. I said, I don't see nobody doing this. Like, my story time was lit in my library. I said, I don't see nobody doing this. And then, like, some of my homies, I graduated college with, not my day ones. He was like, man, I don't know about all that. So when I did it, then it was like, oh, excuse my language, like, oh shit, like he did this? Man, what was crazy is my biggest supporters, and it's so true, the people that don't even know me.
Yep.
Oh my God, let me tell you.
Facts, yo, facts.
This is Miyosha didn't know me from a can of paint. She saw me on social media, she got me her book. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Besides her book being fine, I've read her book multiple times.
Yeah.
multiple times, but support is organic. You ain't even got to push for it because Gilly the Kid said something a couple of months ago, and it really hit hard. He was saying, man, if your homie or your homegirl got something positive going on, everybody should be having that on their page. Like this thing on. Yeah. I got 2 homeboys that literally, like when this thing hopefully takes off, they're gonna be good for life because I literally don't have to ask them for nothing. And they posted on the string. But
they was there shooting in the gym.
Yeah, they want shooting in the gym. And it's like, I commend anyone pursuing their dreams because people think it happened overnight. And our community, we're so microwave, but we think it just happened so instant because of social media. Because they think, yeah, you do. Maybe one day, Miyosha, you got 30,000 followers. It does happen like that, but in reality, they don't see you grinding. They don't see you picking out the theme. They don't see you trying to find an illustrator. Coming up with money. All this stuff. I think once you go through being an entrepreneur, or just say pursuing your own goals, or trying to pursue something, it's a different type of competency and a different understanding that you have to understand somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be objective and you have to be able to take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
You have to be able to change, adapt, and also you gotta have tunnel vision. And still be confident.
Yeah.
It's so many layers. I feel like this is a conversation you can have multiple times because sometimes our people won't get it the first time.
No.
Why support me when I got 1 million followers? I thank you, but if you there, like sorry, I'm going on a rant, but I told, and I'm really, really sticking to my word. If this thing take off like I think it wants to, and I'm praying it will be.
So hold on, Billy. I'm sorry to stop you, but yo, let me go and say, from now on, stop saying if and you hope. Speak life into what you're talking, brother. Yes. Say it's happening. Say it's happening.
I try to be humble.
No. Don't be humble about that.
Be confident.
And you know what?
Exactly.
I love what I do, and I'm passionate. When it take off.
Yes, because it will. Yes.
All the people that have been following me, I don't really add so many new followers like that no more. Because I say, when it get crazy, I'm going to continue to support. So, like, if you watch my stories, I'm always posting supporting somebody on the timeline. Yeah. It's free 99. I tell the students, it's support is free 99.
Yeah.
We are on our phone all day.
You're so right, because I'll tell you that none of my family, I think maybe one of my friends, I've had a podcast up from since last year. I've done lives, I've done shows. I don't think I've ever seen any of my family, actually none. And I don't think anyone listens to the podcast because I know they know I chat their business. But
so wait, I'm hurt now. I thought we were fam. I thought we were cool. I support you. I trend your stuff. Jesus, take me now.
But this how I met Jay was doing this, and we support each other. And it's people like y'all that I've met that have opened my eyes to so much more out there to say, okay, support this, and I don't have to depend on support from my aunt, my uncle, who are these
right.
There's other people who, and that was something that hurt me in the beginning. But I said, you know what? I am learning so much more from the people who are out there supporting me. And I'm not trying to knock that. Okay, yes, we all want to have our family support us, but I don't want to have that support when I'm making dollars. I want to have that support when I'm stuck in the mud, because I need that extra shrug, right? But and that's why I said we need to be supporting each other. In my culture, I grew up in the Caribbean. It's like if you're not a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or accountant, you're like what? So it's like it's unheard of to be anything else. So I want to have that support to be who I want to be and who I aspire to be, and that's something that we're trying to change. We're trying to change those mindsets, and it's hard, but you know what? We'll get there.
Yeah,
absolutely. So before we go anywhere else, you know what, people? It is time for.
You have now entered the hot seat.
I love it.
Uh-oh.
That gets old. It never gets old.
Heart starts beating fast.
I'm only laughing because Trish knows how much I love that intro, mostly because it's my voice and I was tripping that day. But yo,
never gets old.
All right. So
she's drinking her water. She's like,
I know, right? She's getting ready. She's getting ready. However, it is going to be Billy in the hot seat.
Hey, I got my boy Busy the King. You know what I'm saying? All right, Busy, you in the hot seat too, my G.
All right. So, Billy, all right. You have to pick one for each choice, okay?
All right.
Whose work would you keep it the way it is, make changes, or erase it from history? Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou, or James Baldwin? One for each.
4.
Maya Angelou, keep the same.
Okay.
Ooh, Lord.
I know, right?
Erase from history?
Yep.
Nah, oh man, you can't. Toni Morrison, you can't. Well, this one. And I met Maya Angelou.
Oh man, I bet she was so cool.
Yeah, because I'm from North Carolina and she taught at Wake Forest. So when I was young, I met her.
Wow.
Erase from history. I feel like everything is his. I couldn't say you erase things from history.
No, you gotta erase it. You gotta erase it. Gotta make changes or erase it.
Toni Morrison and who else?
James Baldwin.
I'm gonna say James Baldwin because I remember when I was a teenager, I got tired of hearing about him. Honestly.
Oh, okay, all right. He's erased from history. Ouch! Dang, yo. That's cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
Oh man, yo, that's cool. That's cool. But yo, Miyosha, what is up? What is up? Same question. Oh, yeah. If you could, whose work would you keep it the way it is, make changes, or erase from history? Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou, or James Baldwin?
Oh, we're doing the same ones.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, like Maya Angelou, you can't like that. Got to stay. That has to stay the same, of course.
Yeah.
And I have to pick one for each. Well,
Yep.
yeah, I'm with 3 Kings on this one. If we're gonna make changes, Tony, we can make some changes.
Hey, peace out.
Yo, why y'all hate no James Baldwin, yo? That's messed up.
He's out.
Yo, if there's any James Baldwin fans watching or listening, we apologize sincerely. Dang, that is so cold.
It's just the category he was put in. The people, the company. It's just,
Hey, man.
Ooh. All right. So, yo, Trish, what is up? What's your choices? What's your choice, Ma? Save?
What save? All of them.
Oh, man, yo, y'all got it twisted. Y'all got it twisted, yo.
Well, what's your answer?
Oh, okay. So my answer, honestly, I'm a James Baldwin fan. So, yo, his stuff is gonna stay exactly the same. I can't even front to you. I'm a fan of James Baldwin.
So we
his
need
stuff.
to hear.
Okay. Are you gonna change my?
So I'm not done yet.
Yeah, you gotta explain this.
Because James Baldwin, and here's why. Because James Baldwin, to this date, has one of my favorite quotes that I will say to the day I die. And this quote goes as thus: I can't believe what you say because I see what you do.
Woo.
That quote, to me, I'm like, and I've read his books, I've listened to his speeches, I can't change the word that man says. I can't erase him from history. Even though, don't get me wrong.
You can replace that with Maya Angelou's. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Same thing.
She got it from him. She got it from him, though.
He got a whole book of
Just saying. There's a replacement for that.
Okay, so wait, hold on. So I still got make changes or erase from history. Oh, wow. I think I put myself in a wall here. Okay.
Yep, you did.
Okay. So, oh, wow. Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to make some people mad. All right. So, oh. It's time to end the show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Okay. So, yeah. I'm so sorry. I would change Tony and I would erase Maya.
No.
I so would. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you for listening to the Black Phoenix.
Trish will be hosting auditions for a new host.
Oh man, yo. Oh wow, that was crazy. Oh man.
You know that's not going to get us followers, right? They're just going to hate on us.
I know, right? That did it right there.
Facebook group is coming after us.
I know. Oh man. So please don't hate, don't at me. That was my choice, my opinion.
Please direct all hate mail to Jay Reace.
Oh, most damn. So I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Hey, Miyosha, where can everybody connect with you? I'm going to throw up, if you're watching on YouTube, here is Miyosha's book. Miyosha, where can everyone buy your book and your ABC My Hair and Me products?
My website is myhairandmekids.com. You can also connect with me on Instagram and Facebook at My Hair and Me Kids. And the books are also available on Amazon if that's where you prefer, or Target, or Barnes & Nobles, or Books A Million, wherever you like to shop.
Exactly, right?
It is fire.
Right? So, my friend, Three Kings Vision, Billy Allen, I'm going to throw up your YouTube page right there. So where can everybody connect with you who's wanting to get involved and help you out? Maybe even send you some children's book for you to do your thing on?
Absolutely. You can follow me at Three King Visions on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm kind of on it, but I'm on there. You can definitely find me on IG. If you're a children's author, send the book my way. I promise I'll bring it to life like no other. Me and my boy Busy to Be, we got some good things cooking. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to blow this thing up. I got a lot of creative content coming out. I kind of been giving people a preview of what I'm about to do to my YouTube channel. I'm about to flip it a little bit with reading some of the books, the hip hop beats and stuff like that, and classics. Just follow me. I'm all about helping our future kings develop the lifelong love of reading and queens. And like I say, it's all about the kids for real.
Yes.
Love it. Thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. We're going to have to do this again.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Billy, when you get your show, I want to have a puppet or a Muppet made of myself.
I like that.
All right. and I'm going to be on there. But I'm so seeing this happening for you because I love it. And Miyosha, I can't wait for your other book to come out. You need to start popping these books out.
Yes, I am. I got some other things coming up too in addition to the book. I'm excited.
I know she's cooking.
Yeah, I'm cooking.
I love it. All right, everyone. Yo, this has been the Black Phoenix, and we will catch you later.
Hey, thank y'all.
Thank you.